Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the video. My name is Bradley, also known as the Swim Coach. Today, we are going to be looking at the forwards for the 25-26 for that Fantasy Football League. And if you want to join my FPL League, the code is going to be up here, or there'll be a link down in the description. And also, it'd be much appreciated if you did hit that subscribe button and hit that like button for me. And let's get into the video where we're talking about the forwards. Now, from last season, Isaac got the top points of 211. But at the moment, he could be on the move. He could be staying. Don't know. There have been some bid from Liverpool, but now it's gone a bit dry. Newcastle are trying to get another forward, but they have got competition with Manchester United, so we'll see where that goes. 10.5 million. I think that's a reasonable price for Isaac. What was he last year? So yeah, last year, what was he? 8.5. So he has gone up in price value. 28.4% of people have picked him, so that could be a very interesting one as well. Now, if he does get his move to Liverpool, would that affect Mo Salah? You never know, because of assists, goals. Isaac's goals may be going down, stuff like that. So we've got to look into those. Now we go into Chris Wood. Again, for me, he had a very, very surprising season. Yeah, I was very shocked by his season. And again, his value has gone up from last season at around about 6, where it started off with, ended at 7.2, and 7.5. So I think that's a reasonable price tag. But again, as I said, Forest have lost a few players that were helping that. It could be an interesting one. 16.3%. I think that's a reasonable amount of people, and I kind of like that idea, and a reasonable price as well. And I think what you got to look at is, do you have that one expensive player, or do you have those £9 million players and stuff like that, or do you go like 7 million and you have a budget of 21 million, 22 million, something like that? So that's why I think people got to look at their budgets as well. Now, Bowen, he was a midfielder last season. He is now a forward, which I don't really like, the switch. But I think he's a good little person to have. 8 million, reasonable price. And I think West Ham could struggle. They are probably one of my teams that I'm going to put in the bottom 5 this season. So I do apologise, West Ham. And that's where I think would be around, okay? Watkins, again, I know early on in the season, United were going to look at him or not. But I think it's him being the main man at Villa. I think he's going to be on that next level as such. So that could be an interesting one. Where they 7.5, again, good price tag, but for me, Brentford have lost their manager. They've lost 2 of their players. Newcastle were looking at buying him if Isaac goes, but Brentford have said they don't want to sell him because they don't want to sell all 3 of those players in the same season. So that's a bit of an interesting one for me. And if he does get his move to Newcastle, I think a lot more people will buy him. If he stays at Brentford, I think he could do well, but I'm almost putting them again in my bottom half of the table this year. Maybe potentially for that relegation. I'm going to have to say it. Sorry, Brentford. There's 2 London teams that I'm saying that could go down. Now we go to Haaland. Now it is that 14 million pound price tag. It is a lot. 19%. Now could you get both Haaland and Salah in your team? Well, that's 28.5 million just gone on 2 players, which I think you've got to either have one or the other. Yes, City have had a few little changes, and I think it could help City get back up there. I'm going to probably say they may finish 3rd, and I'm going to say yes, it's going to be a Liverpool, Arsenal, City, and a Chelsea top 4. That is my prediction for next season. And we'll come to those Chelsea players in a minute. And Mata, now I actually do like him. 7.5, very good. But do play Chelsea first game, Forest, Villa. So first 3 games are a bit of a struggle, but he's a player that for me, I kind of do like. He's a tough play. He's great. I like him very much. Okay. Palace, I think, will finish in that top 10 again, or around that top 10 positioning. Maybe like, I'll say 13th, 12th, 11th, 10th. Somewhere around there, I think they will finish. Okay. Rail, now, I actually liked him last season. I think he could have probably done that a little bit more. Points per game was a bit low. But hopefully with Fulham doing well. I haven't heard much of their, for me, I haven't heard much of their transfer. So it's a bit of a struggle for me to say. But 2.4% of people have picked him. Now, if he does well, those people are going to get on their points. I kind of like that. Strand Larson, again, with Cunha leaving, Strand Larson maybe stepping up a bit more. That could be a bit of a bonus, should we say. I think he'll probably still finish around about the 160 point mark next season, I think. Yeah, season coming. The Lap did move from Ipswich to Chelsea and did settle in quite quickly. Done really well, especially in that Club World Cup. And I think 6.5, he could be there, but he's not going to be the person that I'm going to probably be picking. Everson, very good. But Bournemouth have had a bit of a change. There's been a few players in and out. So for me, Liverpool game, it's going to be hard. A few games after that with Wolves, Spurs and Brighton, that could be very interesting fixtures, I would say. Now, as you can see, 52% of players have picked the players that I was going to actually pick. I didn't even know that because my team is still on its draft form from when I did a auto pick. So I didn't know that. So I actually do quite like him. And I think he will do really well at Chelsea. And that's where I think, for me, this season, I think there's going to be like 3 leagues within it. I think you're going to have a bottom 6 fighting for it. And I think there's going to be, I'm going to actually say this, there's going to be like a top 7 fighting, but with 2 or 3 teams just that edging that little bit more. And then that little lot below is going to be there. So, and I think Chelsea could do well as long as he stays fit. All I will say. Danny Welbeck, great player, good price. Bit surprised that not many people have picked him, but I do quite like. Fixtures are quite nice. Start of the season, maybe not the third game. The first two, very, very nice. Nicholas Jackson is suspended for the first game week, so I wouldn't have him in. Just waste of 6.5 million. Solanke, 7.5, 12 point. That surprises me. I'll give you that. Bit surprised. Havertz. Now, for me, I wouldn't have Havertz in my team. As an Arsenal fan, yes, great player, but I wouldn't have him in. I'll have someone else from Arsenal in. Beto, very good price, and I think that's why a lot of people have picked Beto. And he's going to, I think, do well this season. Now we go to the Manchester United players, Højlund and Zirkzee. Again, good pricing, but they didn't shine as what I wanted them last season. So I wouldn't have them. Darwin, good, but he's coming on the bench a lot. If you look at his minutes, there you go. His minutes was halved, almost halved. So yeah. Jesus is out injured. Now, this is a player I don't know. I think it's I'm not going to pronounce it. But from last season, not but 21st, probably take it. But I think you got to look at that. Where was it? The yellow cards was good. Bonus points was okay. But West Ham is going to struggle. With Carlson, again, I think could do well, but as an Arsenal fan, I hope he doesn't. Now, we're going to go. Someone like Bamford has had that Premier League experience. Very good. We are going to go, actually, we're going to go into the actual teams. We're going to start with my team. For the forwards. That's one player that could everyone do really well with. Actually, you know what? We'll go back to forwards. And we'll go by team selected. And then we'll see out there those top point players. So as you can see, he's up there, the third best selected. Now, as I said to you earlier, you've got to have a think about how much price you're going to have. Now, if you have those top three players, that's £27 million. Could you have all three of them? For me, no. What I would probably do is I have someone like Pedro. Okay. I'll have Beto was what, 5.5? Yeah, 5.5. Okay. And then I would probably sit with someone that's like an 8 million, 9 million pound player, maybe even like a 7 million pound. So if we do go Drogba, he's what, 22 million. So for me, it'd be like 1, 2, 3. There are probably potential you could have. But the one thing for me, Arsenal's fixtures for the first, 6 games are very interesting, where we've got United. Yes, we've got Leeds, who are newly in, but we've got Liverpool, Forest, City, Newcastle. And those 4 teams all finished in those European positions last season. So they are a tough battle. And I think it's going to be interesting to see how we get on. Now I do like a few games here. Palace game could be always a bit tricky, but the Burnley Sunderland game could be a very interesting one for me. And then we go with a little bit of nice, interesting London games. Okay, so we have 3 London games on the trot. That's quite nice. And then again, just after Christmas, Liverpool, Forest, and United. So I think that could be a bit of an interesting ploy there. And then near to the end of the season, let's see the last few fixtures. Again, April, we got City, Newcastle. And then we do have a reasonable good fixture. Palace away, the last game of the season could be a very tricky one. So I think out there you've got to look very carefully. Maybe Strand Larson, because you can put your prices down. Now, I did hear something about Gay. Now, I can't remember exactly what it was. We will talk about it more about players next week as well, of where we can go. But he could be, depending on where he's going, that could be a good little... Let me have a little look, actually. Let me have a little look. So we're quickly on a prowl. Okay. So he's set for a Sunderland move. Okay. Sunderland. Okay. So that could be very, very good for Sunderland. And I think that if he does get that loan to Sunderland, that could be a very good person to have. Maybe not the start of the season, but after the first few games. Now we've got another new player. Tiki, I think it's that. I can't remember how to pronounce it properly. But again, he's not going to be on penalties because Salah will be on penalties. So you've got to look at that. Free kicks, not going to be on that. Will he be... So he's all about assists and goals. Reasonable. It depends on what their first game formation is going to be against Bournemouth on Friday night, the 15th. That's when the first game's. Ashley Barnes. Sorry, I got it wrong. New to the season, this season. Been out for the Premiership for a long while. But we'll have to see how he gets on at Burnley. And there's some nice little price lower down here as well. We already talked about a few of these players. So have a look at what players you can look at, what combinations, have a budget, work that around your midfielders, then work that budget into those defenders and your goalkeepers. So for now, ladies and gentlemen, I do hope like this video. And again, if you want to join my league, the code is going to be up here or down in the description with all my other socials, including my Discord, where we can go and chat in the FPL part in there as well. Put your teams in there. And we'll see how this season goes. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, have a lovely time and stay safe. And goodbye from now.